Good morning, everybody. We're back for our day 4 lesson inside Subscription Box Coaching Week. And today we're doing live Q&As. I can't wait to jump in and answer a lot of your questions. So if you're joining me, I want you to say hi. Let me know that you're here in the comments. Y'all, this has just been such an amazing week, and it's just filled my cup up more than you could ever know. And there are so many messages in the group this morning. I spent a few hours this morning reading them, answering some more questions, and I'm seeing posts of people that are launching already. I see posts of people that have finally feel like they know what they want to do with their business. I see posts of people feeling like they're finally unstuck and they have a good direction. After hours nights have been amazing. I've been meeting all the new members and getting to know their businesses a little bit, and it's been awesome. And I just want to thank you for just showing up this week. It's been a lot, and I know that it's been a lot, and I'm surprised you're not sick of me at this point. But just know that things aren't this intense all day, every day inside the membership. I really just go all in for Subscription Box Coaching Week. I do it twice a year because I put everything I have into it. And what I want you to get out of it is that either you can see this for your business or not. So being able to make that decision for yourself and really getting an idea of what the concept could look like. So that's why we do the Post-it notes and the Trello board training, just really nailing down the concepts, because the next step is the logistics. And if you can't see what's happening for your business or see what you want to do, the logistics are hard because there's a lot of things that play into logistics. And so that's what this week is all about. It's all about learning. It's about networking, having some fun, and really filling your cup up with what your passion project could be. And I've met some amazing people this week. So I just want to tell you how honored I am that you spent the week with me, that you showed up here on the lives, and that you've contributed not only to the trainings, but to each other. And so I'm just grateful. And yeah, somebody mentioned that the wall, it grew last night. So it grew by 400 new boxes last night. I don't know if you can see all of that, but it grew quite a bit. And so I got to get a bigger ladder so I can go higher up on the ceiling. But I'm super excited for all our new members inside Launch Your Box. And there's been lots of questions this morning just about that. And so today is the last day to get the early bird bonus. And the bonus is those Canva social media graphics. And so today's the last day to join and get the bundle of graphics. So it's different than the social media captions that you might have purchased at checkout. And but it's a whole set of graphics. And I have a little video that shows you how you can change the colors, how you can pop your images in. And so that is the early bird bonus, and that ends tonight at midnight. So that is still available. Let me come over here to the comments because you guys are awesome. Erin says she's so glad she joined the training and she made the wall. Erin, you're up here. I did a little video earlier, but I think I need to take like pictures of sections so you can find your name on the wall back here. I love this. I love the wall. It is so cool. And Kelsey wants to know how we're going to keep them from falling. Well, first of all, if you've met Amber, right? A lot of you have met Amber this week on my team. She's not allowed near the wall because she's very klutzy. So I'm afraid that she'll come back here and trip on something and they'll all come falling down. But I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, some clear like mesh or something just to make sure they don't fall down, because they're pretty tall. I had to get on a step stool to get all the way up there last night and putting the new boxes on, because it's just, I don't know. And I walked in this morning, I'm tired. Y'all know I'm tired. I've shown up a lot this week. This is actually my 19th live that I have done since Saturday. I don't do that many lives normally. So I'm just exhausted. I'm sick of listening to myself talk. But I walked into this office this morning And I just had to take a moment and I just had to stand there for about 10 minutes and I walked the wall and I read the names. And for me, it's just so special because each one of those names is someone that's hopeful. They're hopeful to take this next step in their journey. They want to grow. They want to start. They want to learn. And I'm hopeful for every one of these people on this wall. And I'm really grateful for you. So, Christy, who's on the wall? These are all the people that have joined Launch Your Box. So these are all the members of Launch Your Box on the wall. So these are all the people that are going to get to learn together. They're going to get to grow together. They're going to continue leveling up in their businesses. And so I'm excited for them. Like, I'm super excited. And I saw a post this morning, and I think I'm just going to have to share it on my page. And let me look here. From Kimberly Mixon. Kimberly, I saw your post this morning. It just made my day. And I'm so excited for you. And that's what happens. Like, you just do it. Just quit being scared. Just launch the thing, do the thing, quit holding yourself back from it. And that's my advice for you. I do want to give a shout out before we get started. I want to give a shout out to Sarah's team. They are basically, who's been in here is Allison, not Allison, I'm sorry. Allison's been behind the scenes helping me with the tech, but Allison's on Sarah's team. Amber's been in here 24/7. Tiffany has been in here 24/7. And can we just give a shout out to the ladies on Sarah's team for handling so many things. They got everybody into Launch Your Box last night. They've been answering questions and they've been handling emails, all kinds of messages. And so they're allowing me to be my best when I show up here live, and they're just taking care of you guys on the customer service side and answering tons of questions. So shout out to Sarah's team. You're going to get to know them a little bit more when you jump inside Launch Your Box. So I'll be introducing them to you next week if you haven't met any of them. Some of you met Amber the last few nights on After Hours. But those of you that have joined Launch Your Box, welcome to Launch Your Box. Those of you that are still on the fence, we can talk about it, but let's get through some questions today, because what I want you to leave coaching week, whether you come and join us in Launch Your Box or you decide you're not ready for that yet, or whatever the case may be, I want you to get some questions answered today. So I'm going to take questions, and I'm going to do as many as I can, because y'all know this little chat right here, it's just like a spinning wheel. So I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. It's impossible for me to answer all of your questions, but questions that I would love to answer would be questions that would benefit multiple people. So if you have a question that you think someone else in the group might be wondering about too, that's exactly what I want to answer, because I would love to be able to give a lot of people great answers. We've been doing it every night in After Hours, and I think their notebooks are completely full from all the great questions that we've had and the knowledge I've been able to give them. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to type the word question in all caps. I want to put your question underneath there. Please make it short and sweet, because these fly by very fast. And I promise I'm not ignoring you if I don't answer your question. I just can't see. They just go so fast. So I'm literally just clicking to see what pops up on my screen. We're going to talk about it. I want you to make some notes, and my team is on too. So they are going to try to help answer some of the quicker questions in the comments as we're going through. So we're going to get started. All right. Erin says, when starting out, how do you manage the cost of so many moving parts? I'm trying to find the balance between producing the box that I actually want and actually making a profit. This is a really great question. So it requires an investment. When we start a business, it typically requires an investment, especially a product-based business. You have to buy product to sell it. And if you operate in a world where you're afraid to buy product, you're not going to have sales. So you have to kind of look at the cost of your products. And you have to look at it as your investment in your business. And so when you look at the products and the cost, there's cost to starting the subscription, and that's going to be your products, that's going to be your packaging, That's going to be your tech. And those are really the three categories that you're going to have to start with. And people start with different amounts. So it's really dependent on what you want to do. You don't have to get expensive packaging up front. So I prefer you not. And you could see when we did the box openings, many people are using blank boxes until they make a profit. I want you to make a profit that first month, but you do have to invest a little bit to get going. You can't just do it with no resources. So think about your products, think about your packaging, and think about your tech, and then kind of lay that out and create a budget for yourself. And then you know what you need to do to pay back your initial investment in this business. All right, so, oh my gosh, the questions are already coming so fast. Okay. Melissa, I have 3 levels of my boxes. I have my monogram box, $45. I have my combo box, $60. And I have the ultimate box, which is $70. So if you want to go back and see, I saw that you were on my live over on The Framed when I did the box reveal this morning. Just go back and watch that. You can see how many pieces and what those levels include. iPhone. Just my iPhone. I don't have fancy camera. I don't do fancy stuff. I don't have, I'm a pretty simple person. You're going to learn that about me. I use an iPhone. I have an iPhone 10, I think. I use that camera, and Tasha, if you're inside LauncherBox, I feel like you might be. I can't remember. But there's a training on how to take pictures. I also have a blog that would be a great resource on how to take product pictures, because there's an app I use to filter and make images prettier. So check out those 2 resources. Okay. Michelle says, last night you said you don't use GoDaddy for your website. Curious why. So I've never used GoDaddy at all, but I have business friends that say a GoDaddy website is terrible, and I would believe them. This particular person is also inside LauncherBox, so we could have that conversation with him inside the group, Michelle. But I don't know exactly what it is, but he says it's one of the worst, and I can't remember why he told me that. But I use WordPress and Shopify. So those are my 2 website platforms. You don't need both. That was another question last night. You just need one of those. Okay, so Leah says, offering choices for items in your box, from sizes, as in t-shirts, to preferred colors, for example. Is it normal to offer choices each month? So Leah, that's just going to be on you. So it's okay to offer choices, but will color choices limit what you can do? And so that would be my question for you. Are color choices going to make it hard for you? We tend to just want to give and give and give. And sometimes we're just really making it hard on ourselves. Like if I let people, like if this is my t-shirt design for March. So if I let people decide what color t-shirt they wanted versus everyone getting the black camo, then it would be an issue, because now I have to go source different colors. I may not be able to find all the colors in people's sizes. And so that's a headache for me. So I create one product, I let them pick their size, and that's it. So I just want you to just think about that. And it might be okay while you have 20 or 50 subscribers, but I want you to think of things that are scalable. And I want everybody to think in this mindset. When we start to scale, what would we wish we would have done differently? And so when you start to scale and you have 100 subscribers and you're trying to figure out what size and what color of t-shirt that you want to offer, it becomes a headache and it becomes time consuming. So just kind of keep that in mind. Don't start something that you can't scale. So that's my advice. Write that down. Don't start something you can't scale. Hi, Jamie. So the question on ad spend really depends on your audience size and I would say how many sales that you're having. Now, I know you already have a successful subscription, so I feel like you have money to work on that ad spend. So the ROI is return on investment. So in this case, it would be return on ad spend. Sometimes that's called ROAS, return on ad spend. And so you can do that for as little as $1 a day. You can do it for $10 a day. You can do it for $30 a day. For me at my level, I tend to go $30 a day, $10 a day, depending on how many ads that I'm running. So if I choose $10 a day to promote my subscription box, I know that's $300 a month. So I need to build that into my operating costs. It's the cost of doing business. Everyone should have an advertising budget built into their business budget. And so if that in the beginning, it was like $2 a day, and then it was $5 a day. And then if you go $10 a day. Now, if I'm promoting something pretty heavy for a short period of time, like there's a smaller window, then I may want to go $30 a day for 10 days. That's the same $300, but I have a shorter window of when I want to sell that. But what I love to do is have an ad running all the time to new audiences for my subscription so that I'm getting new people into my world all the time, and I'm always building that list. And I hope that answers that question. Mary says, do I have thoughts on CreateJoy? So right now I'm doing a CreateJoy test. I know that we have members in our membership that are on their own platform and on CreateJoy. A lot of people love it. A lot of people have a hard time switching their members from CreateJoy over to their membership. So until I can give you the best answer on this, I'm going through a 30-day test with CreateJoy. So I'm loading one of my subscriptions on there. I'm testing it out, and I'm going to see what kind of traffic I get on CreateJoy versus what I'm getting on my own site. I do think it's kind of like Etsy, right? So when you're brand new and you're a maker, you put your stuff on Etsy because it's an easy road to entry. You don't have to build your own website. There's shipping platform built in. It's really easy to get started on Etsy, right? And the reason that you would want to have your own platform is because when we send people over to Etsy to buy from us, they instantly get hit with all these other things that they could buy that are like our things. And sometimes that's not awesome. But what Etsy does for any new business owner is you're in front of their audiences. So you're getting customers that you wouldn't necessarily have if you weren't on Etsy. That's the same concept for CreateJoy. So for people that don't have a website, not ready to invest in the tech yet, CreateJoy is a great option. It's a platform. They do take a percentage just like Etsy would, but you can get started over there, hopefully gain some subscribers. But the trick is when you send people to CreateJoy, they're going to see all the other boxes that are similar to yours. And so it's just a trade-off. And so I don't think CreateJoy is a bad thing. And I'm doing a test. So we'll see at the end of this 30 days what kind of statistics, what my analytics look like after I've tested, my own site versus CreateJoy and how that looks. But I'm not opposed to it. Hi, Paulette. How do you control your inventory for sizes to do the apparel items? This was really something that I had to learn, and it took a little time. So I sell a lot of clothing, a lot of t-shirts all the time. So I knew that if I had overstock, I could sell them on my website and it wasn't that big of a deal. I also have a brick and mortar store, so they could go on the shelf in the brick and mortar store. So for me, I was ordering my t-shirt subscription is open all the time. Anyone can join all the time. So when I order my shirts, I have to account that there might be more people that will sign up until, to the last day of that payment comes out. And so I always I do about 15% over the amount that I know I need. So if I need 100 mediums, I order 115. So if I need 50 larges, I'm ordering like 57. So I'm going 15% above because I know I can sell them, and I sell them at a higher price on my website. There are sometimes that people need to exchange sizes. Sometimes there's a hole in the seam. So I always want to make sure I have a way to replace something that may need to be replaced. Mona says, what was the early bird special? Where do I find it? So the early bird bonus for joining Launch Your Box by today at midnight is our Canva social media graphics. And so once you join, that is in your library. There's a little product and it's got kind of a pink color on it and it says Canva bonus graphics. It's a whole little training lesson on how to use the graphics. And there's 8 templates that you can use for your business in there. All right. Michelle, I'm Switzerland on this. I like them both. I like them both. Okay, let's see. I'm losing the questions. They're coming so fast. Okay, hang on. I'm sorry, they're just going so fast. I can't find where I'm at here. Okay, why do you have Shopify and your website? I saw your answer, but would like clarification. If you saw my answer, I mean, that would just be what I would tell you here too. I've been on WooCommerce for many years and I have my products on WooCommerce. I have my subscription on WooCommerce. But when I started my coaching membership, I like to learn and I want to learn the difference between Shopify and WooCommerce. So I created a Shopify store. And when I did that, I decided to move my regular one-time sales onto Shopify and leave my subscriptions on Woo, just so I had product there so I could test it out. I was testing to see if it was easier. I was testing to see if I would get more sales on one platform or the other. I like Shopify for a lot of different reasons. And I actually like that my stuff is separate now, but I wouldn't separate things if you're just starting out. Pick one platform, go all in. Both are very good choices. Mona says, do you have a profile for your subscribers to fill out when they sign up for a subscription? Yes, so it's just questions at checkout. So you want to capture as much as you can at checkout. You don't want to have to go back and ask them questions. Brianna says, did you offer specials of your customers for referrals when you first started, or do you still? So I have done a couple refer a friend campaigns with the boxes. And so basically, it's not a regular thing. I would just do it once or twice a year, but I just called it my Refer a Friend month. And so I gave them a link, and on the checkout page, it just said referred by, and that person could put their name in. And then I gave both people a pair of earrings. So if Brianna comes and buys my subscription because Katie referred you, you would put Katie's name into that box, and then I would put extra pair of earrings in your box, Brianna, and also in Katie's box. So that's how I would do a refer a friend. It's kind of just like a bonus. I don't do $1 payout, but a bonus like that. Do you do the ad from your personal page or business page? Always a business page. You don't do, you cannot sell products on a personal page. It's against Facebook's terms of service. You can share from your business page to your personal page, but your business page is connected. So you don't want to post and sell items straight from your personal page. You will likely get that shut down by Facebook. Chris, we have a really great resource inside our training library about how to do your first Facebook ads. So you can choose who you want to advertise to. I advertised to all of you, and I targeted people that were interested in e-commerce, people that were interested in subscription boxes. So you can figure out what your ideal customers' interests are, and you can find those in the ads manager inside Facebook, and you could target people that that have those interests. You can also target people in regions. So typically for my subscription box, we target people in the southern states because of the monograms. And so there's lots of different things. And we have a 3 or 4 part video series on how to run different types of Facebook ads inside our training library if you're in Launch Your Box. Okay, remember to type question in so I can find your question easy. This is a great question. What if I offer the choice of buying one box at a time or a discounted subscription price would be commit to 6 months up front and then month after month? So that gets a little tricky. And so I think that you have to make a decision on what you want to do. So you could offer month to month, which is what I do. I don't offer yearly. I don't offer 6 months. I don't offer 3 months. If you make too many offers, people don't know what to choose. Now, what I do for the holidays is I'll do like a 1-year gift subscription. They pay all of that up front so that that's the benefit of having a subscription, paying it all up front. And then I do give a discount. So they get like a month free, just like at Launch Your Box. If you pay for the whole year up front, you're getting 2 months free. And that's just really admin costs. You don't have to follow up with payments. You don't have to worry if you're going to have a subscriber or not. You could offer that. I tell you not to offer too many choices though. So never more than 3 choices, because then they'll just click off your page and they won't buy. So you either need to decide if you're just going to have a monthly, or if you want to have a monthly and then another option for like 6 months. But if you put them on a 6-month subscription, it's going to renew every 6 months unless you change it. So if you want them to pay for 6 months up front and then month to month after that, that's a different subscription. And so you have to be careful of that. Michelle, Shopify and WooCommerce site allow a blog page, a shop page, a landing page, or we need a separate site for a blog. If you want to do the blog, I highly recommend you going WordPress, WooCommerce. So WordPress is the platform. WooCommerce works with, it's a plugin for WordPress to sell items. So if you're a blogger, there's no better place to be than on WordPress. And so I would highly recommend just do WordPress and WooCommerce, and you won't need Shopify. So that would be the best thing to go there. Tracy asks, is there better to start your customer with a special welcome box with separate items or a current subscription box for that month? You can do either. But for me, it's easiest to do the monthly box. So just start them with the month so that everybody's getting the same thing. Unless you need, I'm thinking about a box that I opened last month. So it's a Tray Play box. So I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like a sensory thing. So they get different activity kits each month. But in their first month, she sends them actually an extra box. So it's like their welcome box, but it's the trays that they'll use. So they really get 2 boxes, or they get 1 big box for that first month. And then after that, they just get whatever kit is coming in. So if you have something that you need every member to get, but they only need 1 of them, then I would put that in your first box. But I would give everybody the same thing each month. That way they're not seeing some subscribers getting one thing and some subscribers getting another thing, if that helps you iron that out. Hi, Sonia. Should I only choose one ideal customer, or can I choose multiple? The best way to start, Sonia, is to choose one and to really narrow down and go into that one person. Because if you choose multiples, you're going to be speaking to different people, and then your messaging is going to be off. And so if your messaging isn't clear, then people may or may not buy from you. They may not feel like it's a right fit for them. But if you can focus on that one ideal customer, your messaging will be hitting every single time. You're likely to gain more followers faster. You're likely to gain more subscribers faster when you can really narrow in on that one thing and not try to do too many at once. Okay, my screen just popped up again. So what happens in StreamYard is you'll have comments and they'll come, but then all of a sudden you'll get 10 comments at a time and the screen will just fly up. So then you've lost everything that you just saw. Annie, you do not. You can use the same Shopify as you use in your brick and mortar. So if you have the POS Shopify, you can use that for your website too. And the best thing about it is that the inventory will deduct from one place and the other. So you don't have to worry about if you sold it in your store and then you sold it online that you've oversold it, because the inventory will match up. Just so y'all know, you're asking a lot of tech questions, and I'm doing my best to answer the tech questions, but I'm not a tech person. I hire my tech out. So just know that I'm doing my best to answer your tech questions, and I don't know all the details about tech. We do have some tech resources for you. We have Shopify Expert and WordPress WooCommerce Expert inside the group, but I am not the tech expert. I know enough to be dangerous and to break stuff. If you have a growing business already, how can you get help with the admin side that knows how to help you with your subscription box? So my question would be, do you have a VA? And a VA is a virtual assistant, and that's someone, or I have VAs and I have in-person assistants that work at the store in the warehouse. So my question would be, do you have one of those? Because they could easily help you with things. So the admin things that a VA could help you with would be, they could help you with shipping, printing all the things that you need to print, the invoices. They can help you with customer service. They can help you with payment problems on the back end, or when someone needs to update their card, they can help you log information on a Google sheet if you need, specific sizing and things like that. They can help with ordering. They can really help you organize things if they're not an in-person person to your business. But if you have that person that's in person, they can not only do some of the admin things, they can make graphics for you on social media. They can take pictures of the box items. They can help you write blogs. They can help you do Pinterest. But they're also another set of hands for packing day, because typically our businesses don't need hands all month long to pack. It's like a one and done. We do it for a few days or a week at a time, and then they're out the door. So if you have an extra set of hands that can help you during packing days, and then they're doing admin things, it'd be awesome if you had somebody in person. And like I said, they could take your photos, they could upload stuff to your website, they can do social media. So if you don't have one of those people, I would highly recommend that you hire someone. Have my own line of Bath & Body products. Would it be better to offer items they can't usually get from the shop? So I would suggest that you have at least one exclusive item in each box, kind of like a collector's edition or a limited edition item. You could have other things from your line in there because they may love it and want to rebuy it from you. So you're going to get repeat customers that want to buy the same thing that you had given in one of your boxes because they loved it so much. But creating something that's like a limited edition or an exclusive piece to your box would be really great, but you don't have to have all your items be that way. The screen just shifted on me again. Let me go back and find where I was. So Kimberly, I'm going to introduce them to you next month inside Launch Your Box. Thank you, Michelle. It's so much better than what the after hours have been. Okay. Tasha, just stick with one for right now. Don't try to do two. It's like you're building two completely new businesses. Stick with one. When you've got that mastered, then you can do a different social media and a website. But I'm telling you, it's hard to manage two at the same time. So I would go all in with one. It's a great question from Dana. Dana says, what are your thoughts about allowing subscribers to put a hold on their subscription? Should they just cancel altogether? Which method is easiest for someone just starting out? So Dana, that depends. That depends on the availability of your products. So for me, I have to order things 6 months in advance. So if I order 1,000 pieces of something and I have 1,000 subscribers, if somebody puts that on hold this month and comes back next month, if I don't have a place for them, I don't have a box for them. So that could get tricky, especially when you're talking about like 20 or 30 people at a time putting their subscriptions on hold and then coming back and wanting a box the next month. If I don't have 30 people that cancel that month, I won't have a box for them when they come back. So typically I would make them cancel and they could resubscribe, or they'll have to join my waiting list to get back in. And that's just kind of another reason to have a closed subscription like that, because they know if they leave, they might not be able to get back in when they want to. And that's another, scarcity situation. And so they tend not to put it on hold, not to leave, because they don't want to lose their spot in my subscription. Now, there was an instance where I did a skip a month, and it was when the pandemic hit, and I was terrified that my subscribers would start canceling, especially because I have a $70 box. And I thought, well, when they start cutting out things in their life to save money, I have this box that's super expensive that nobody needs. It's completely a want. So I allowed my subscribers to skip one time. If they needed to skip more than 1 month, they just needed to cancel. But I knew I was going to have cancellations anyway, because everyone was fearful of their job. People were losing their jobs. They were getting laid off. And so I knew I was going to have some cancellations anyway. So I did this skip a month, and I did it for about 4 months when the pandemic hit, and it was fine. I wasn't oversold on any boxes when they came back, but that's the only time I did that. I don't do that on a regular basis, if that helps you. Now, if you're creating your own products, producing your own products, and you have the ability to make more products at any time you want to, you could easily do this because you know you won't be running out of products. Hi, Dina. So Dina says, do you recommend always having a Facebook group for your box members? And what are you using for streaming these lives? So this is called StreamYard, and this allows you to stream into multiple places. So yesterday during the box openings, I was streaming into this group, the Subscription Box Coaching Week group, and I was also streaming into my membership. So you can stream on pages, you can stream into groups, you can stream to YouTube. I wish you could stream onto IG, because that would be amazing, but they don't have that function yet. There's a few other ways that you can stream here, but you can do multiple pages and groups at the same time, so you can hit your audiences wherever they're at. Now, as far as having a Facebook group, I don't love groups. I don't love groups. I have a group for my paid membership, but that's a little different. I'm exhausted by them, honestly. I'm exhausted by the amount of conversations that I have to keep up with and manage. So I don't have a group for my subscriptions. I totally think that they're awesome. I think groups are awesome, and some people love them and some people don't. And some people do really well. It's a great way for your subscribers to connect with each other. And if there is like a topic of conversation that goes with your box, like some boxes are like, they're business boxes. Some boxes are mom groups. If you have a customer where the community of those people is important to that box, absolutely, I would tell you to have a Facebook group. But do you need it? No. I'm an introvert, and so sometimes it drains me too much. And so I use my page as the way that I talk to my subscribers. I ask questions in my post. Hey, subscribers, What are you doing with this item from your box this month? I talk to them on my lives from my page. I don't feel like I need the separate group. I have my texting group and I know which one of those are subscribers. And so I think it's just a matter of your choice. If you love groups and you want to do groups, absolutely you should do them. If you don't really want to take on an extra, thing to manage, you don't have to do them. They're not necessary. And this would be a piggyback question to that. So why do I use StreamYard? One, I love being able to pull these questions up on the screen. Two, I instantly can download it and StreamYard saves it for me. And three, I can see the comments way easier than just streaming into the group from Facebook. So it's just much more user-friendly than anything else. So that's why I like to use it. This is a really great question. I don't think I've addressed this week at all. Do you always put your box inside of a USPS box or do you ship it as is? So I don't know who this is, but because I don't see your name here, but if you watch the box openings from yesterday, only one of those boxes came in another box. And they did that because they needed to protect the contents of that box. So they bubble wrapped it, the whole box, and put it into another box. But these boxes, my box is right here. Do you guys ever watch The Prophet? Do you know who Marcus Lemonis is? I'm obsessed with it. It's like my favorite show on the planet. So if you don't watch The Prophet, write it down. It's on CNBC. And Marcus Lemonis is the CEO of Camping World, and he goes into kind of struggling small businesses, and he invests his money into these businesses and makes them profitable. It's really amazing, and you learn a lot of things about e-commerce, just business in general watching it. So put it on your bucket list if you're into that kind of thing, if you like Shark Tank and stuff like that. But he did an episode, and I think it's called Santa's Toys, if you go search this for this episode. And he said, and this is my box. He said, your box is your billboard, and it travels the country delivering your message. And you don't want to hide that. This is your billboard, and it takes a journey all over the country, and different people see your billboard. And if you've got your website on the side of it, people are going to find you easier. Don't hide your billboard. Would you create a billboard and then put a sheet over it? You wouldn't do that. So send your pretty packaging out into the world and let everybody that comes in contact with it see it. That's your message that you're spreading all over the world. Okay? And go watch that episode because it's really full of juicy nuggets. Mona, thank you. These things, you just got to take one question at a time, one bite at a time. So I do what I can do. Vanessa, this is a good question. Do I allow returns? No. So a subscription box is a final sale, and that's on my sales page on my website. It says that your subscription box is a final sale. These items are purchased specifically for our subscribers. Now, if there's an issue or if there's something damaged, obviously I'm going to replace that. If somebody needs a different size and we can exchange that for them, we do that. But it's a final sale. And people check that box when they check out, that they understand that. So you've got to do the same thing, because somebody's going to get something that they don't like. And just know that it's going to happen. They're going to say, well, I don't like this. I'm not going to use this. Today, we had a big trunk organizer in our box when I did my box reveal on my page today. And I know somebody somewhere did not like the trunk organizer. They haven't told me that yet, but I'm sure there is. I have a lot of subscribers. Not everybody's in love with it. But they just know that that's what they get. And if they don't like it, if there's something they're not going to use, they can totally regift it to somebody else. And so don't open yourself up to having to take returns back for your subscription box. The benefit of the box is that they're getting it at a discounted rate. They're getting it as exclusive before anybody else does. And so that comes at a price, and that price is that you can't return it. And so it's not uncalled for to not take returns, especially with subscription boxes. Michelle, I do every now and then. Anytime that you add something like that to your box, make sure that it is in pre-packaged, individual packaged items directly from the manufacturer. Do not pre-package items on your own, food items, because that you'll get in trouble with the health department. So make sure whatever you're buying, that it's in individual servings that you can put in your packages. Okay, my screen just shifted on me again. Sorry, I've lost where I'm at. Man. Okay, here I am. Cindy, this is a great question. So you're going to get the videos for a year. So all 4 videos that we use, the Post-it note challenge, the Trello board training, the box reviews, and then this Q&A, you're going to get emailed to you next week. You will be able to watch them as much as you want for an entire year. Then if you want to go back and watch any of the interviews that I did with other Launch Your Box members, they're available on my public page. I streamed them into the group and on my public page when I did them, so they'll live there and you can go watch them anytime. My public page is called How to Start a Subscription Box with Sarah Williams. So you will find all that information there. So you'll have access to all of these. When do you do your box sneak peeks on Facebook Live, and what is the timing? Are your box after your boxes have already shipped? So are you talking about the box reveal like I did this morning on my page? So I do a sneak peek before they get it, and I usually post it a couple times. So one, to get them excited. I also post another sneak peek, hey, it's on their way. And then after the boxes are delivered, I make sure about 90% of them have been delivered before I do the box reveal. And I can see that in ShipStation. I can see how many boxes haven't been delivered yet. And so I kind of know whether to wait another day or go ahead and do the box reveal. So this morning I did the box reveal. Over 90% of them have been delivered. I probably would have done it earlier this week, but I've been in here all week. So they're probably feeling neglected over on my retail page this week. But I do the box reveal. It's a surprise. So I don't want to ruin the surprise for people. So I make sure that most of them have it first. The best apps to use for subscriptions. So there's 3. You don't need all 3 of them. You just need one of them. So you can write these down. If you're using Shopify, you need a subscription app. You just need one of them. There is Bold, there is Recharge, and there is Paywhirl. And you need one of them, not all of them. They are all really good. And there are members inside our membership that use different ones and they all like them. So I haven't heard a bunch of negative things about any of them. And it's a constant conversation we have over there. And so if you are in Launch Your Box, you could easily go search Bold, Recharge, Paywhirl, and you're going to find a whole bunch of conversations where people have asked about it and people say what they use and why. So that's what you need. Now, I know the question was asked in this group earlier about if you have like variations for your boxes like me, where I have monograms and sizes and stuff. An app that you can use on Shopify to collect that information is called Infinite Options by ShopPad. Infinite Options by ShopPad. So that is an app that will help you capture all the sizing and variations that you need. Sonia, when someone let me break down Launch Your Box for you guys so you understand how it works. It's similar to Coaching Week, except Coaching Week is like on steroids. I'm not live every day over there. Y'all would be so sick of me. I would be so sick of myself. Nobody has time to consume all of that anyway. But what it is, there's really two main parts to Launch Your Box. So I have a training library that has about 40 pre-recorded training lessons in there. And it's everything from building your audience to shipping to packaging to buying overseas to launching, like all the things. And they're in like 15 to 20-minute videos. So they're like bite-sized things that you can consume when you need to. And I call it Netflix style, so that, I mean, you can go and watch whatever you want when you want it. You can binge watch it. If you say, I'm going to work on shipping tomorrow, let me just go watch the shipping module today so that I know what to work on tomorrow. You can just watch the shipping module. You don't have to watch them in any order. So that is one part of Launch Your Box. They're pre-recorded. I also create new training all the time. So it's trainings that I have created. You can learn about how I use text messaging. You can learn about creating your holiday boxes. Like there's all kinds of different things over there. The other part of Launch Your Box is our Facebook group like this. So I'm in there every day answering questions, on the computer. I am live once a week inside the group. So we will do like a group training on a specific topic. We do planning workshops. We do tech talks where we talk about tech questions. We do box openings. There's lots of different things, but I do one thing a week over there. So it's not this overwhelming thing that you have to consume all the things, but then I'm in the comments every day answering questions. And if there's an in-depth question, sometimes I'll do a short video on it, or I'll do a quick live on it. I'll say, let me answer this question, and I'll pull my computer up and show you how to do something. But that's what Launch Your Box is like. It's like Coaching Week, but a little more chill. And there's lots of people in there answering each other's questions. We do have a wholesale section. So if you sell items wholesale or you're looking to buy something, you can see they're broken down in different categories. You can see what categories, if you're looking for a candle, if you're looking for a t-shirt and you want to use somebody in the group, their information is in there. So there's just lots of resources in there. Plus you get me all the time too. Okay, let's see. There's so many questions. Okay, here's a good question. I want you to go listen to my podcast episode this week. I interviewed Stacy Collins with Wilshire Collection. And when Stacy came into Launch Your Box, she was selling one-time boxes. And what she was doing was she would just create a box and sell it as a one-time. And it was hard for her because she never knew how many she needed. And so until she realized the benefits of putting it on subscription, it has made things so much easy for her. She knows how many boxes she needs. She knows she's going to sell them, and it's just streamlined everything. So as far as doing the gift boxes, I do the gift boxes twice a year, once at Christmas and once at Mother's Day. And here's what happens is, a lot of my subscribers are the ones that are buying them. So they're buying them, one, for themselves because they don't want to miss a box. And two, they're buying them for their loved ones. Your subscribers, you're going to find out, are going to be your very best customers. They're going to buy all the things that you have, and they feel deeply connected to you. And so offering those gift boxes is a great idea, but you don't want to do it all the time because then you're going to create a reason why they don't have to be a subscriber, because then they can just get a box whenever they want. So I just choose 2 holidays a year and I offer those. Kathy says she just joined a Facebook group for female entrepreneur introverts. There must be a lot of us. Okay. Michelle says, I'm doing a book for new teachers. I would like to put a professional book in there. Is that a copyright issue to put someone else's book in my box? People do it all the time. I'm not sure what the logistics are. I don't know if you have to get permission from the publisher, but it's definitely something I would look into. Maybe reach out to some publishers on the internet and ask some questions there. Gwen says, how important is Instagram? Seems like it would be a good platform for selling. So I guess the question would be, who is your ideal customer? If they're on Instagram, you need to be on Instagram. I can see, I'm really behind on comments, but I can see you guys love The Prophet. Go watch The Prophet if you're not watching The Prophet. Carrie, I do weigh and print our own shipping labels at our warehouse. So it does take a scale and a printer. That's pretty much it. Scale and a printer. And I have some resources. I have my top shipping tools on my blog. So you can find my blog at launchyourboxwithsarah.com. And then there's lots of in-depth resources there if you want to check those out. Okay. I don't have interns. Not that I haven't thought about it, but I have never used an intern. If anyone has used an intern, I would love to know your feedback from that, but I have never used an intern. StreamYard is much different than Zoom, and I like it much better. You can't do the things on Zoom that you can do in StreamYard. Okay. I can see this question, Billy. I'm not sure what other question. They're going so fast. I don't know what you have put in here. Okay, we've got a few more minutes. Yes, so definitely keeping your box weight down is going to help you, especially if you're using the post office. And if you're shipping international, sometimes using the post office is the lowest cost for international shipping. So if you can keep your items really under 3 pounds, that's going to be the best savings to you. If they're over, really, once you get into the 4 and 5 pound and over, it's gonna cost you a lot. So if your sweet spot would be to keep your items under 3 pounds, and it's totally doable. A lot of my boxes are under 3 pounds, and that's going to help you. Now, if you use FedEx and UPS, you're not dealing with physical weight with your shipments, you're dealing with dimensional weight. And the difference between physical weight and dimensional weight is they're giving you a weight based on the dimensions of your box. So this is a larger box. So this is a 15-inch box. And so my dimensional weight is figured out by the sizes of each side of this box. And so FedEx doesn't typically care too much how much that weighs unless it's over a certain poundage, but they're more concerned with how big your box is. So the sweet spot for you when you're thinking about boxes is the smaller the better, and if you can keep it under 3 pounds. So think about the things that weigh a lot that you put in your boxes. People are mentioning books. People are mentioning candles. If you can mix those items with lighter things and not put a lot of heavy things into the same box, that will benefit you greatly. feel like you're screaming at me. Don't scream at me, all caps. Okay, this is gonna be my last question. We're gonna wrap it up. A good source for children's items. Since I don't use children's items, I can't tell you that. I would definitely search. Anytime I'm looking for a new item, I put children's wholesale or whatever it is wholesale. You just have to do some research. I don't use children items, so I can't tell you what would be a good source for that. You just got to keep looking. And I know that if you've joined Launch Your Box, a lot of people have a lot of different boxes and we share resources. And a lot of people are open about that and will help. So it's just a great way to connect with other people that might be doing children's boxes for you. So, all right. I'm gonna call it good here. And here, I just saw a comment that someone's question didn't get answered. And I saw some comments in the group today, and I just want to address it real quick. If your expectation is that I'm going to answer every one of your questions every day inside your group, then this is not for you. It's impossible. You see how many boxes are behind me. You see how many people are in this group this week. What I do provide is a ton of resources to get your questions answered. I have spent a year pouring into those resources and making them readily available. I show up every day. I answer a lot of questions. I've answered a lot of questions here today. Am I going to get to everyone's question? No. If every single person asked me just one question a day, there's no possible way I could physically answer that. But here's what's awesome. We have hundreds, now over 1,000 people inside Launch Your Box that do this every single day. They can answer your questions. You guys can answer your questions before I will even see it sometimes. And that's the power of being inside of a group full of like-minded people that love each other, they help each other, they support each other. But if you run into that group with your hair on fire every single day, asking a bunch of questions and not even looking in the training or searching in the group, people are going to stop answering your questions. And so what I would tell you is to take time to go through the resources that I've spent a year putting together for you. Take time to search the Facebook group because a lot of times that question's already been asked. And then if you need help, and then if you can't find the answer, pop it in the group. My team is there. My amazing members are there. I am there. Somebody's going to answer you. And so just know that it is physically impossible for me to answer everyone. And I do charge $250 an hour to talk to me. So you do get me every day. It's just more in a group setting. So listen when I tell somebody, when I answer their question, listen when I show up and do a Q&A, because a lot of questions that people have are similar to questions that other people have. And so thinking that you're different all the time when you could just apply what I'm saying to somebody else to your business is how you're going to get further faster. And I pour my heart and soul into this week. I pour my heart and soul into my membership because I love it and I love my members. And if that is somewhere you want to be, I want you to be in Launch Your Box. If your expectation is that I'm going to answer all your questions every day and hold your hand every day, that's not the right place for you. And I'm open and honest about that. So this is it. This is our last day here. I do have some more interviews. So over the weekend, I'm going to bring you a few more members. We're going to pop into coaching week and I'm going to introduce you to a few more people because I know when I can tell their stories, you guys can relate to them. You might not always relate to me and how I built my business, but if you can relate to Molly and you can relate to Tracy and you could relate to Olivia. And then I had Stephanie on yesterday, and who doesn't love Stephanie? You can relate to them. You can see that they had challenges and they had struggles too and how they overcome them. So tomorrow I'm chatting with Lisa and I can't wait for you to meet her. And it'll be 6 p.m. Central, and it'll be in the group, and I'll send you a text if you're on my text list. But I'm just appreciative of you. I loved this week. You guys brought a lot of energy and a lot of engagement, and I hope that at the end of the day, you got what you needed out of it, that you feel inspired and motivated to move forward. So Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I'll be back over the weekend with some of my members. So come over and say hi, okay? You guys have a great Friday.